Hello, this is Daniel with River City Services. Doing another quick video about my moving business and what we do. Um, just doing another video, pretty much giving you just a little bit more information. Um, been a while since I did the last video. I was kind of hesitant to do another video since the other video had so many views. But I decided, with the pandemic and everything, I just want to let people know I'm still doing it. Moving is still pretty much going on. Pretty much been picked up with the pandemic. Of course, when we doing moves, we are using masks and being precautious and stuff. And since we're in people's homes and stuff like that, so I just want everybody to know that that is something um, we're doing. I'm not out here with my mask right now, but of course, like everybody else, I got my mask with me and stuff. But as far as the video, I just want to go ahead and do the video um, without the mask. So, just to explain what we do, we are a moving, um, labor moving only service. So, what that means is we don't provide the truck. The customer is responsible for the truck or the moving vehicle, and we just the labor, and it's based on time. So, we don't really do a quote, um, and you book us based on a 2-man or 3-man, or if it's that big, a 4-man rate, and it's by the hour. There's a minimum 2-hour job, meaning if I come out, we're gonna bill you for at least 2 hours. But with that said, we do not charge a trip charge, or we do not require a deposit. You pretty much just schedule with us. We show up, do the work, and then when we over, I bill you based on the time, and it's done. Just to kind of explain how I got into it, I was affiliated with it through U-Haul. So like 70% of my business now comes through U-Haul. If you go to the U-Haul site, there's a place where you say you can rent rent labor, and it's contractors like me that get on there, and you set up your hours, you set up your schedule, and then if somebody picks you, they send you my information, send me your information, then we communicate and we finalize the details of the move. Normally the moves are based on time slots, so it's based on the morning, afternoon, evening. The exact time is dependent upon me and you. So you might say the morning, might say 8 o'clock, might say the morning, say 10 o'clock, or afternoon, you may say 2 p.m. However, you just got to be aware that if you select a lot of hours, there may be an issue. So like if you select the morning time slot, but then you say, hey, I need you for 6 hours, that may go over into the afternoon slot. And if I already have somebody booked for the afternoon slot, then there may be a scheduling conflict. So it's based on time, but I do have other time slots. So it's based on basically a first come, first serve basis. If I have a job after you or before you, I'll let you know, and then you can make the determination if you use it or not. And so basically the way it works is, we show up. Most of our jobs are sight unseen, so it's really no need for me to come on site and do a survey, because most of our jobs are sight unseen, because most of the time it's just standard household furniture. There is some exceptions to moving if it's doing like a piano or a big gun safe, or some heavy long furniture. I mean, not long furniture, long equipment, like a zero turn lawnmower. Some of those things we will not move because either A, we don't have enough manpower, or we don't have the right equipment to move that. So any specialty item like that, you need to speak to us before and say, hey, I have this, can you move it? If it's something that 2 or 3 men can do without equipment, a little piano or a small gun says, yeah. But if it's something, real big and we're not equipped to do it, then, we just won't do it. So, it's each situation is different. So I'm going to go over a couple items that people to be aware of. So like I said, we don't provide the truck. So the customer is responsible for getting the truck and booking the truck. The customer is also responsible for the moving supplies. So the blankets, the shrink wrap, the boxes, all that the customer must have. Now, if you want us to help you, pack or wrap your stuff, that's fine. Of course, when we moving your items, we're gonna move your items carefully, and when we put them in the truck, we're gonna pack them so that your items won't be damaged. But if you don't have blankets to put on top of your dresser, if you don't have something to wrap your mirror up in, then of course, if you don't have it, we can't use it. Um, Also, far as flat screen TVs and stuff like that, it really needs to be in boxes. If we're gonna move um, your TVs and stuff, they really need to be in boxes or wrapped or packed correctly. We'll still move it if you say, hey, I'm not worried about it, but I can't be responsible for it if you don't have the proper padding or boxes to put the TVs in. And that just goes with any furniture. And that also depends upon the truck size you have. So if the truck size you have is not big enough for the move, then sometimes it requires us to um, pack your items real tight and stack your items. So if you have some fragile furniture that can't be stacked, then that can be a problem. So regardless of getting a truck, make sure you get enough truck or a big enough truck for your stuff. A lot of times people get the truck based on what they feel comfortable driving, and that's not always the right thing to do, especially if you're going out of town. If you're moving out of town, um, you want to have more truck to make sure you can get all your items. Locally is a little easier. That just means you might have to take multiple trips to get all your stuff from A to B, and that also is going to increase your time with me. So, versus being a 2 hour move, it might go to a 3 hour move or a 4 hour move, but at least that's an option. Um, if you're going out of town or you coming from town, then the only option you can have is leave your items, or get rid of some items. Um, Also, regarding the truck, we do not drive the truck, um, and that's more of a insurance liability than employee liability. In some scenarios, we will, but normally the only time we drive the truck if I'm on the job and that's the owner, I'm driving the truck. The customer has put me on the paperwork and have got the proper insurance. And when you get a truck, make sure you get the insurance for the truck, and then it's also um, some insurance. I think they call it Move Safe that kind of protects your move. So say the truck breaks down, and U-Haul has to get you another truck. So they told you to the service to a service location, get you a new truck. You still have to unload your items off the broken down truck and load onto the good truck. And that moving safe insurance will cover that additional cost with me to cover that. And sometimes they even give you more hours. So sometimes when your truck break down, the money they give you from the insurance covers the whole move. Now, not that anybody want their truck to break down um, to get your move paid for, but that's just something that kind of relieve the stress from people. Um, and when you move, and I just want to, since I'm at that point saying that, I just want to say the truck and the moving is separate. It's two separate orders. So if your truck breaks down, the move is still, is still a order, and we still have to make an adjustment. So if for whatever reason you can't get the truck or the truck breaks down, we're gonna have to reschedule my move. Now, if I'm available that additional time, um, no big thing, we can do it. But if I'm not available, then we'll just have to kind of work out some agreement between us of what needs to be done. Now, if the truck is not there, of course we can't we can't do the work, and I'm not gonna charge you for not being able to do the work. But I'm saying in a scenario where the move have started and we in process and the truck breaks down in the process of doing the move. Um, so that's what I'm saying. Some other little things I just want to let people know is preparation is the key. Um, being prepared to do the move is critical. Um, that's one thing that a lot of people overlook. They book us, they get the truck, but then they don't think about getting boxes, they don't think about getting wrapped, they don't have um, an organization of where they're going to put the items, they don't know what they're going to keep, they don't know what they're going to throw away. So all of those things need to be thought about before you book the move. Because once we come there, we're gonna kind of be ready to go. We're gonna be ready to do our thing. So any time that we spend while you trying to figure out where you're putting stuff at is going to increase your cost. Um, so be as prepared as you can. A lot of things that hurt people on the unload is not knowing where they're going to put their furniture at. We sitting there with a dresser and they like, well, do we put it on this wall or do we put it on that wall? You know, that takes up time. So just have an idea of where you're going to put your stuff. Now, at the end of the move, if you want to remove, rearrange something real quick, that's no big deal. But initially, at least have an idea of um, where you want to put the stuff at. I get asked a lot about do we dismantle furniture? We do, but if it's a real sophisticated piece or elder piece, or I don't think we can put it back together, I'm gonna refuse to do that. So just be aware of that. We can talk about that initially when you call me, but just be aware that we're movers, we're not furniture installers and stuff like that. So we don't want to get into anything where we're gonna have to end up replacing something. Um, or incurring a cost that we didn't have to just because hey, we couldn't do it. A lot of places that sells furniture um, will come out and dismantle it for you in order for you to move it. A lot of people don't know that, but most of your major furniture dealers, if you buy a piece from them and it's one of them pieces that they brought and they had to put together, they will come there and just assemble it, and then that way we can move it, and then once you get it back in your new location, they can come back out and reassemble it. Even if it's cross state, cross city, most of them have contractors all over the place. um, it's just that that's the better thing. And if a part get broken or messed up while they installing it, normally they have the resources to get that piece replaced or fixed. So that's the better option. um, just thinking about other stuff that happens. If you go into a storage unit, make sure that your storage unit is accessible or when you schedule your move. A lot of times we went to do a move and got to the storage unit and it was closed. Or got to the storage unit and for whatever reason, the people thought they had paid, they hadn't paid, and they had put a lock on their storage unit and they can't get into the move. So in that scenario, we have loaded your house up, we're taking it to a storage unit, your storage unit is locked. Nobody's going to come out after hours to cut a lock off your storage unit. So now you have to rent the truck um, for an additional day because your items are on the truck and you can't unload them. Or same scenario, you going to load up to go out of town, you got the truck, you got us, you go and you can't get into your storage unit for whatever reason. I'm not available the next day, so you're kind of stuck having to choose another contractor. So make sure that you have access to your storage unit. Make sure you can be in there the full time. Some storage units may be open um, later in the evening, but they won't let you out, or the doors or the elevator won't work after certain hours. So there's a lot of different hours and access times to storage units. So just make sure you're aware of that and you know that prior to the move. Um, Make sure that your apartment complex, if you're in a apartment complex, you're okay to move out or in at certain times. Some apartment complexes have certain times where people can actually move in and move out. So make sure um, you have that down, because we get to starting to move. Somebody comes out and say, hey, y'all making too much noise, y'all can't do that, y'all can't use the freight elevator or whatever. Just be prepared for that. Moving is stressful enough, as everybody know. and we are here to help you, guide you through it, and and take some of the stress off of it. So a lot of this stuff in this video is just things for you to think about and remember. So if you're getting ready to do a move, you kind of say, hey, I hadn't thought about that. Let me think about that. Um, Also, far as like when you're doing clothes, the best way to do clothes is doing the wardrobe box. I know the wardrobe box is a little expensive, but it's a lot easier than putting your clothes in garbage bags or just putting them on the hanger and stuff like that. Everybody just kind of, most of the time with a move, just kind of overlook the clothes, and then they get stressed out when they trying to load all the clothes up, and we got bags and clothes that's dropping on the floor and dropping them, and it's just making a mess. So if you can't afford the boxes and you got to do the bags, or you got to do it, that's fine. But a lot of times it's a lot more easy for us to take a wardrobe box and load that versus bringing out clothes by the handful and in garbage bags. So just be aware of that. Um, some other things that I like to say, far as bed frames and stuff like that. Um, if much as you can do yourself will help, but be prepared. If you doing boxes, kind of if you can put the boxes in one area, so we're not going all over the house to pick up the boxes. um, if everything can kind of be organized where we come in, we know exactly where we need to go. If we got to hunt around your house and apartment and look for a box and look for this and look for that, it just takes more time. If you also, if you can get or reserve a space close for the moving truck, that will help. So if you're in an apartment or you're somewhere with limited parking, if you can get some no parking sign or some cones or something like that and put them in the area where we're going to be, um, where we be closer to your building or closest to your house, then that'll make it easier for us to get access to get in. Because what moving is a lot of variables that people don't think about, like how close I can get the truck to the building. Am I coming through the front door? Am I coming to the back door? Is this door too wide? Is this door um, too long of a route? So it's different scenarios that can make a move be an easy move or a hard move. Because at the end of the day, we just want to come out, give you good service, protect your stuff, get in and get out. I'm not there trying to run up the hours on a move and gouge you for um, the move. We use our experience, we use our knowledge about moving to help people. Because a lot of people know, like a lot of people don't know, on their sofas that most of the newer sofas, the backs come off. So they'll say, "Oh man, me and my father, we struggle to get that sofa in the house." So then they call me, and then when I come out, I take the backs off the sofa and turn it sideways from the on the bottom and take it out the door in like a minute or less. And they sitting there like, "Oh man, I could have did that." Yeah, we're not trying to get over on somebody. Just that if you don't know, you don't know. A lot of people struggle with appliances and stuff like that, and getting it out the house, and most time it's just a matter of lifting it the right way, turning it the right angle. If you need to put a pad up under, protect the floor, do that. So there's a lot of things that we do that's going to be knowledgeable, that's going to help you out in your move. So um, that mostly is what I'm trying to convey in this video, is just letting people know things to do, things to remember, and ways that can help us help you make a better move. Okay? Um, that's basically it. You can look me up on Facebook. I'm on the U-Haul website, River City Services. Normally, if you get on the site and I'm not showing up on a particular day, that means I'm either booked for that day or off that day. If you see me on the site, that normally means I'm open. Once you book me, then it will give you access to my telephone number, email me, call me, or I'll call you once I see the orders booked, and then we'll set up a time and I'll get some details about the move. And then that's when we can kind of talk it out and if any issues will come up. Then what happens is on the day of the move, we show up. We probably call you en route or text you and say we're en route. Get on site, we call you. We do the move. If it's just a load, we just come in there, do the load, prepare you to, if you're going out of town. If it's an unload, and if it's a load unload, then we will come in, load you, follow you to location B, and then unload you. And then once we finish that, we leave out. Normally, we are just concentrating in the Richmond, central Richmond area, 30 to 45 minutes, in and around Richmond, Virginia. We will go out of town on some instances, but it's pretty much on a case-by-case basis. Since I don't charge trip charge, since I don't charge, deposit, and I try to keep my prices low so we can be competitive, I really don't go out of town. Now, if we negotiate the additional costs that I'm going to incur going out of town, then I will go out of town, but I just do that on a case-by-case basis. So that's basically, what my company does and what we can offer. In some instances, it works out great for people. In some instances, they're like, hey, I can't drive the truck. I don't want to drive the truck. I'm going to just deal with a traditional moving company, which is fine. Our program is not going to work with everybody. Some people is just going to want to pay people to come in and do everything from, packing to driving the truck and everything like that, and that's fine. It's just our program is for when people want to have a little bit more control of their move, and save some money, but not at the risk of your stuff being damaged. So that's what we do. That's who we are. And, if we can do business, great. If not, I hope at least this video has given you some knowledge about moving and some of the things that comes up during the move. All right. God bless. Stay safe.